This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/world record.
That's BETTERHELP.com/world record.
Dadgrass is legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mind.
Right now, listeners get 20% off your first order at dadgrass.com/world record.
That's dadgrass.com/world record for 20% off your first order. Do it. Let's get her on. Oh, there you go. Oh, great. Perfect. Oh, look at this. You're all set up on a tripod or something there too.
Awesome. Hello.
Hey, okay, well, we'll get started then. We're just kind of like figuring stuff out. And then is there anything, I guess, before we like get fully started, is there any like website or anything that you would like to promote, like me to promote?
Sure. I have a business. My Google business is ParaUfo, Pallades Paranormal Investigator. You can find me on there and on Facebook too.
And what was it? So I can put the link in there. You know what? Why don't you send me when we're done, you can email the links to everything. So,
sure.
And then we'll
I used to have a website, but during the pandemic, somehow it got lost.
Oh, interesting. And so then here, okay, well then here, I'll just get started and I'll just intro. I'll just give you a quick intro and we'll just start talking. You can talk about that.
Sure.
Too. Thanks so much for doing this.
It's my first time being on podcast.
Well, great. Maybe, this might be your first of many.
Hope so.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're back, the World Record Podcast, and we have a very special guest today. I have a ton of questions. I'm super interested, and I'm sure you're going to be interested in hearing what she has to say. So give a big, warm world record welcome to Electra. Hey, Electra, how's it going?
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Doing good. Thanks so much for coming on, especially at the last minute, like you did. You're up late. You stay up late at night?
Well, okay, so I'm pregnant. I'm 6 months pregnant.
Congratulations.
So this baby is my third baby, so it kind of has me up and down, and it's different.
Yeah. How old are your other kids?
I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay. I'm not far. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
No other ones. And then when I got your email at 3:30, was the 4-year-old was up barfing all over the place. So.
Oh, poor guy. Is he okay?
It's a girl and she's fine. I think I think she ate, cause she has a pretty good, she has a good sense of humor and everything. Like she doesn't have a fever and, she,
Great.
Has a pretty good attitude, but was just started at like 3:30 and was still puking this morning. Generally, I do this show with my partner, the A-Train, but she stayed home to just make sure that all the barf gets into a bucket of some sort. And then she actually, it was a fun experience. She, my daughter had sharted for the first time in her life. Today and I could tell I was going to warn her because, it's definitely a food poisoning thing. And I got her some apples and we were hanging out in the living room and I could tell she like pushed out the fart to kind of be funny. And I was going to say, hey, you got to be careful because this stomach thing you're going through. And then she went, uh-oh, Daddy, I think I just pooped my pants. And I said,
oh, no. Oh, my God. Those are terrible. Don't even remind me of that. Oh.
Well, it was barely any poop got in the pants. It was all pretty much, she kept it in the cheeks. It was just, kept it contained in the cheeks. So I'm sure you're familiar with all this.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
You're about to bring another poopy butt into the world. So congratulations.
It was unexpected. So.
Well, well. Nothing you can do about it now. Well, I'm sure it'll be great. Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, or you leave that up to?
Oh yes, it's a boy.
Oh, great.
The boy. So.
Okay. And what are the other two?
2 girls. I have 2 girls right now.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. I have a girl and a boy. The older one is a girl, and the 1-year-old is a little menace. He's a boy, and it's definitely different. Boys are definitely a bit more of a handful. In my experience. Just with the right out of the gate, he's a real. He likes to mess stuff up, but he's got a good attitude about it. So, hopefully
oh God.
Now, do you have? So I want to get into because we kind of came across your whole thing just randomly. You have what would you call what you do? You're a paranormal. Let's give everybody some background on what you do. You can communicate with the other side. I know there's some alien stuff. So what's
I do okay, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I do basically the dirty work. I do demonology, witchcraft, curses. I speak to the dead. I can kill demons. I can cross over spirits. I can communicate with any type of spirit that's dead from many years, centuries, etc. I mainly focus on demonology and witchcraft because a lot of people are a victim to witchcraft and they don't know it. So that's kind of what I like to do. But if other things come up, I'm very flexible and I can do pretty much anything.
So how often are you? How do people get in touch with you? How often are you, you say you can kill demons, you deal with witchcraft, which somebody, for example, would there be a way for you to tell, is there a curse on, could I be cursed by a witch and I don't even know it? And I mean, I sometimes I think that I did something to somebody because nothing ever goes my way.
Yes. Yeah, I can tell you if you are a victim to witchcraft. And what's amazing is when I talk to these spirits and these demons, I can show the client, hey, this is not just what I'm saying. This is what the spirits and demons are saying about you. Mm-hmm. Because, demons like to be cocky. They do. And once they are after a person, they claim that person as theirs. And there's no matter what you do or what you say, you can't take that soul away from that demon unless you kill the demon.
Okay. And so that's, let's say, because, I don't want to make this all about me. So I'm not, I don't know if I'm totally cursed. Sometimes I do feel like there is maybe there's something else maybe holding me back, but that could just be, self-defeating.
I think it's just energy. I do sense that you are a victim to negative energy. A lot of people around you are jealous of you and they want what you have.
Yeah. Well, that's Aaron who's here. That's who set up the call. Aaron definitely fits that criteria.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to be very careful.
Okay.
With what we say, what we boast about, the good things in our life, because people don't want to hear that, especially people that hate you and envy you in the low key,
Yeah, yeah. So I have haters.
Many, yeah.
Oh man, that's very. Maybe we'll do an in-person thing at some point too, because I'd like to get the. Well, let's. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So the witchcraft. So somebody calls you up. How do people get in touch with you? Are you listed in? Is there a community?
I'm on Google. I'm on Google. You can find me as ParaUfo. Para is paranormal and then UFO together.
Okay.
ParaUfo, Pallades Paranormal Investigator. You can find me on Google.
ParaUfo Pallades?
Yes.
How's that spelled? P-A...
P-L-E-I-A-D-E-E-S.
Okay, so ParaUfo Pallades, and if they just Google that, then your information
or
comes up.
If they can just Google paranormal, I come up. I'm the first one that comes up.
Okay. Would they have to do like paranormal? Because if somebody's not you're in California.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, in California.
So if is there a specific like area that you're in that you'd like to advertise? Like, are you in the Valley or is there a certain area?
I'm in LA County.
Okay.
LA County.
Okay, so paranormal, para UFO, LA, Los Angeles, you'll be one of the top results. And if somebody from around, do you do most of your things? I mean, I know that there's been COVID. I don't know if you've heard of this, but there was a thing called COVID going around. And so I'm sure there was no in-person kind of stuff going on, but were you doing like video readings and forgive me if I sound ignorant, I'm really not familiar with the whole world, but I'm very interested in it. So like, can people, call you on FaceTime or on Zoom or something and say, hey, I'd like to, like, what are most of your like people contacting you about, like wanting to speak to dead relatives or wanting to rid themselves of some kind of like bad energy or demons or a witch has a voodoo doll? Like, do people do voodoo dolls? Is that a real thing?
Yes, that's a real thing. It's a real thing, yeah. Oh
man. And now is this something, now I know you work you're on the good side of things, but that's stuff that you could, like if you decided to switch teams, you could make people's lives pretty miserable, I imagine.
Yes, I could mess some things up, but I would never use my power for evil. I use my power for good because I believe in God and I believe in aliens, and I would never betrayed, who gave me my power. Right.
And that's so, and it sounds like your kids are there, so I don't want to keep you too long. So let's just start from the beginning. How did you get started with all this stuff? How old were you? I assume you were a young child and maybe saw some stuff or.
Well, okay, this is what's crazy. Well, when I was a child, I felt like I thought it was just me being lucky by guessing certain things, right? Mm-hmm. So I never paid attention because I never believed in paranormal. I never cared to. It wasn't what I was like born to do, at that time. Like I didn't really care or believe. So until 3 years ago when I lost somebody, well, it's been like 4 or 5. Yeah, like 5 years ago, I lost somebody very special to me. And after they passed away, I felt like he was still there. And I got so obsessed with the fact that I had to cross him over that I went on my own and I was looking for ways to communicate with him, to tell him to please leave me alone, please cross over, go with God, because it's a sin to stay here and roam around, right? Because he was always in my mind. He was giving me signs. He was like, I heard him. It was to the point that I put video cameras in my home because my children were acting super weird. Mm-hmm. There was orbs flying around my daughter. My daughter would tell me, Mommy, I see some, my daughter can speak. So she would tell me, Mommy, I see something. There's a ghost, but it's nice. He wants to talk to you. And that just blew my mind because I'm like, oh my God, it's not just me. It's my daughter telling me this now. Wow. So like I have to focus and I have to find a way to get rid of this problem. And I tried calling many investigators. I tried calling Ghost Adventures. I called everybody. And nobody came out to help me. Nobody told me really what to do or how to do things. And that drove me nuts because it's like these people are claiming to be these paranormal investigators and they don't want to help the public, So I was like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to get this ghost out of my home. Uh-huh. Either it's, you know what I'm saying? So it was just very crazy, even though I knew it was a positive ghost. It was, my friend. And finally I had this like big awakening and I found this man in the valley that was able to help me because he read energy. He told me, he's like, you better be sitting because I have something to tell you. And I said, oh my gosh, please don't tell me it's a demon. Please. I know it's a good spirit, but don't tell me it's a demon because
demons can trick you, right? Demons can act like your dead friend or something. Because isn't that the demon's whole thing?
Yes. And I was like, if it's a demon, I want it out. Like, is he fooling me? But when he told me to analyze the energy, he's like, well, how does he make you feel? He's like, open your heart and I want you to read the energy. Besides being scared, how else do you feel? So I took his advice and I knew it wasn't a demon because when I felt like demons were around, I would get a stomach ache or a headache. So, and
a lot
plus
of,
Nathan,
I think a lot of people,
the guy that was haunting me, he would tell me, no, it's me. Don't worry, I'm not a demon. And it was just crazy, all this experience, because I never believed.
So you had the guy, and you said that when demons are around, it gives you a stomach ache. And that's just, I just want to let people know that that a lot of demons are sensed at Taco Bell after eating Taco Bell, I think. But the guy in the valley, so who's the guy in the valley? Is that, is this somebody that you would go to, like a psychic or somebody that you had a relationship with already?
I didn't know him. I met him because I was just, who called me? Somebody called me and they referred me to him because, I called that paranormal investigator that was in Hollywood.
Okay.
But since it was the pandemic, he told me that his guides aren't letting him do any paranormal work, but he has a guy that can help me. Okay. So he gave that guy my number and that guy called me back.
Okay. Oh, so this was also, so your friend, just to have the timeline straight, you had a friend who passed away 5 years ago about.
Yes.
And then for the past, so then from the time he died, how soon after he died did you start sensing that his ghost was in your place, in your house?
Oh, the day after he died.
Oh, the day
day after.
So he's hanging out there for like 3 years then by the time the pandemic rolls around.
Yes.
This has been going on for a couple of years. And you said you have like video footage of like orbs and stuff in your place?
Yes. Oh. I actually would upload these videos of orbs, demons.
Oh man.
I recorded all of that, which was like a year and a half, and I uploaded all that stuff on TikTok, but I got banned because the government doesn't like the fact that you're talking about demons and how they're connected to the government, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have a theory.
I got into that stuff. It's so crazy. Yeah.
We'll return after these messages.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Therapy is great. I go to therapy. I do therapy over the phone. I think it's a great thing to do for yourself. Self-care, invest in yourself, whether it's hitting the gym or making time for a haircut or just trying therapy. It's a good thing to do for yourself.
Yeah, go to therapy. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
World Record listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/World Record.
That's BetterHelp.com/World Record.
Yo, A-Train, have you ever just been too damn high?
Yes.
Well, with today's weed, it can be a dangerous game, and we don't always have to play reefer roulette when we're looking to light up. Dadgrass is reviving the pleasure of casual smoke so you can chill out without the stress. I have gotten way too high on numerous occasions. Anybody who smokes pot, especially with the crazy weed that's out there now, you know what I'm talking about. You can get paranoid. have a little hit at a party or even at home watching a movie, and then you get all inside your head, night's ruined. Dadgrass is like a nice, cool, mellow high.
All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S.
Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/world record.
Go to dadgrass.com/world record for 20% off your first order.
That's dadgrass.com/world record. They have all this stuff. Dadgrass Classic Formula, CBD tincture, the pre-rolled joints. Go to their website, /world record, get 20% off. Check it out. Get you some stuff. It's legal everywhere.
Now, back to our program.
So did you started getting into all this stuff after your friend died, and you were like, okay, now I know that I have these powers. So then you started doing research and you're contacting people. And so in this time frame, are you encountering demons along with the ghost of your friend, or are there also like, do you just have like some kind of doorway open and you're like, oh my God, not only is this guy here my friend, but now there's like, I can see demons and I can see like angels and all this other stuff. And does this go into like, do you go into like, is this just kind of like, do you get blindsided by it, or is it something that you like focus and like kind of meditate on, or go into a trance, or
Well, when it all first came to me, the paranormal investigator that I talked to, his name was Steve, the guy from the Valley.
Okay.
He told me, he's like, you're not just dealing with spirits and demons.
Yeah.
You're dealing with something else, with aliens. There's alien energy there in your house, and they want to communicate with you.
Okay.
And when he told me that, I was like, oh my God, no, please. I was like, God, I can only deal with spirits, not anything alien. What do they want from me? And by then he had told me that they were communicating with my kids already, because my kids were writing in code. They were drawing, they were saying these words that, that a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old shouldn't be talking by then. Like these words were just very advanced. My daughter would just write codes, just codes.
Yeah.
And I had sent him all this information, and that's how he was like, you have more than spirits. You have alien energy, and they want to communicate with you, and they want to give you something. And once I did that, it just opened a whole doorway to another world that I still find it hard to believe. But right now it's like, how can I not believe when other people are telling me this? Because they're seeing this, because I'm healing people from different things. So
you're talking to people, and when you say people from different things, you're talking about different like energies from different like dimensions and stuff.
Right.
And so that's like, and I've heard the theory that, that demons and aliens are like, that aliens aren't from outer space. It's like they're interdimensional beings. And is that the case with like demons and aliens, or is it like spaceship aliens we're talking about?
They don't need a spaceship to come to Earth anymore. They have a button and they can just come here.
Okay.
So the aliens that I know there's certain aliens that are mixed with demon that live in the ground, and there's aliens that live in space.
Okay. And the aliens mixed with demons who live in the ground, that is, are they more like it? So that those aliens are, I guess they're like evil. So aliens have kind of like angels and devils. There's similar, or is it all the same? Is it all the same kind of stuff? Are they all like operating in the same kind of universe there? The demons and the aliens, or is it like two separate kind of things? But the
aliens and the demons don't get along. Okay. We are at war with the demons. We are here to kill demons only.
Okay.
So we can make the world a better place, right? Because these demons have infected everybody on Earth.
Right. And there is a deal with the government. This is a theory that I think makes as much sense as anything else, that there is some sort of being that feeds on like sadness, that
Yes.
like the governments have to keep feeding that. That's why we're just always bombing people and stuff. Is that kind of what's going on? Am I on the right track?
Yes. Yes, you're on the right track. Good. Yes.
And who's that? So what's that all about? Because you said the government took your TikTok down.
Yeah, they took it down because, do you remember around the pandemic, there was also a lot of military people dying, like Vanessa Guillen, Juan Munoz. All these soldiers were being killed off on base, correct?
Yeah, it rings a bell, but I don't. What were their names? Vanessa
Guillen, Juan Munoz. What else?
Okay.
The Vanessa Guillen was huge because she got murdered on base by her fellow, you know.
Okay, yeah, this rings a bell. Yeah.
Okay, and there's like a new law for that, whatever, So around that time, my power was over the top. So the aliens told me to get into those cases, start working on those cases, what really happened to these heroes. And I got so invested in that I was able to help Juan Munoz's mom find the body of her son, which was in the canal, you know, in New Mexico when he got thrown off the bridge.
Oh, and so he was an Army guy who got murdered by fellow Army guys, thrown off a bridge.
In New Mexico.
And so how did you get in touch? Is there kind of like a scene of people like you where it's like everybody's kind of like, are there people
it's a one
who are
Army person, just me.
So how do you get in touch with his mom, the Army guy, the Munoz guy?
By that time, I was very popular on TikTok. I was trending. My videos were hitting 1 million views.
Wow.
So she got wind of my account because I was making videos about her son, Justice for Juan Munoz.
Okay. Yeah.
Juan Munoz, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. If you have a very popular TikTok account, then she's going to see that and get in touch with you.
Yes. So she's like, hi, I really appreciate, you speaking for my son and trying to get justice. And I said, ma'am, I can talk to you and your son and help you. And I would send her like EVPs of her son telling her mom exactly who killed him, exactly where he is. And I was able to help her, give her information and help her find her son's body. Okay. And like 2 days later, when I said he's by the rocks underneath, when he got thrown underneath the bridge by the rocks. And that's where the canoe person found him.
Okay.
Underneath the bridge by the rocks.
Oh, interesting. And was any of this covered like in the mainstream media at all or any kind of?
Oh, no.
Probably
No. They shut me down. They did not want they didn't want people to know that, hey, you know what? There's this girl that actually has the power to tell you where the bodies are and how to find people and really get to the bottom of it. Because, it's the government. They don't want to be exposed,
Yeah. So, and what they don't want to be exposed is the connection of them and these demons and aliens working together. Keep everybody
that's
miserable.
Too much for people.
Yeah.
They will not allow that to come out whatsoever. Even if you have concrete evidence, even if you have the video, you have pictures, you have EVPs, you have this amazing power that people are telling, people are saying, hey, she just healed me from schizophrenia. She's really real. They don't care about that. They cannot let that be known because they lose money everywhere. And it sounds crazy.
And you do that too? You heal, you're a healer or you can heal people?
I do energy healing, cleansing. Okay. I've healed people from schizophrenia,
and how
cirrhosis, cancer.
Cirrhosis?
Yes.
that's a liver thing, right? The schizophrenia. Do you keep in touch with the person who had schizophrenia?
I actually do. He became my best friend.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
maybe down the line we could talk to him too at some point.
Of course.
If you wanted to come back.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be amazing.
Now, have you tried to make another TikTok account since the other one?
Each time I make one, they just flag me. They know who I am.
Really?
Yes, and it sucks. And losing that really took a toll on my career and me as a person, because I literally dedicated my whole life to that account, and I grew that account very fast. People loved me. I was trending. I was helping a lot of people from other worlds, from Trinidad, from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Russia. I was helping people that had these curses, these witchcraft stuff on them. Yeah. And it was so tragic to just get that taken away from me that I wanted to quit. I was ready to just throw everything away and just not do this ever again.
And what was the TikTok? What was your name, your TikTok name?
It was ParaUfo.
Oh, ParaUfo. So it was like at ParaUfo.
Yeah.
And there's no way. Maybe we could try to see if we can get that back from TikTok. I don't know.
I would love that. I would love that.
We could start a petition. I mean, have you tried to go through what was the reason they gave you? I mean, TikTok has to give you a reason, or don't they? You just went and it was closed down one day?
They told me, because I was talking about the government and how I was exposing them. And I talked about the Russian war. I predicted that we were going to be at war with Russia last year. And I kept posting videos about that because with me, I'm going to use my power to expose the bad and uplift the good, right? Yeah. If I could, so I predicted that. And, the aliens would tell me what to do. They would tell me what to post. They would tell me what to say, because certain stuff I couldn't say it to the public. It's just too much. Yeah. So I made a video talking about 2022 and how we were going to be at war with Russia. And when I posted that video and I had like over 10K likes and 10K views, they shut me down. I mean, it was like a week into it and they shut me down. I mean, with no explanation, with nothing.
And did anybody ever so the government, nobody ever told you directly, we shut you down because of the government?
No, the government, and you know what? And it's so crazy, because if the government is investigating you, they're supposed to let you know, hey, here's a subpoena of us hacking into your phone, of us listening to your conversations, and basically investigating you. And they were doing that without telling me. I mean, I had cops to my house. They would drive around 3 a.m. up and down my street at 3 a.m. And I had cameras in my front yard and in my backyard and in my room. Okay. And all of this is documented. And I would post all of this on TikTok, and I would get flagged, and I would get banned for a couple of days and then back on, and then banned for a couple months and then back on. But this time was permanent. I mean, I haven't been on since July of last year. Right.
And you weren't saying anything like nothing threatening, or it was just where there's just these predictions.
It was just me being. They were watching me, full on watching me. Yeah.
Well, I think the Patriot Act. I think that's part of the Patriot Act, is that they can just indiscriminately listen to whoever they want. I mean, since 9/11, I think that the government has these. These. I don't think they have to let you know anymore. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not siding with the government, but I know that ever since 9/11, the Patriot Act, one of the big. That's that whole Edward Snowden.
I didn't know that.
Exposed all that they're just like monitoring basically everybody now under the guise.
And they really are. If you say the Illuminati, if you say anything about the Illuminati or the Masonaries or the Garden Grove, because when I got into blogging about them and exposing the truth and really asking questions about these soldiers, they didn't like that. They started hacking into my phone calls. I mean, my mom lives in Mexico, and I called her this one day, and she, me and her heard a man talk in the third line, and my mom was so scared for me. She wanted me to get the first ticket out to Mexico and just move to Mexico because she was so scared of me. She was so scared for me.
Yeah. So these,
It's scary.
Of course, yeah. That's you don't want the government to. You don't want to get on their bad side, but also I think that like there's so many people talking about this stuff at this point that you're not. Maybe the TikTok got taken away because you were saying too many things, but I feel like they still have bigger fish to fry, and things like this are easy to dismiss as like, they could just say you're a crazy lady, and most people are afraid to even entertain the idea that any of this could possibly be true because then their whole reality unravels, and they just couldn't handle it. So that's unfortunate though that they did this, and I'll look into the TikTok thing. I mean, I have no power over TikTok. I don't know what, but I'll see if maybe. Did you ever try to get your account back, or
till this day I try, and it tells me that the deadline for the appeal has passed by and they can't make a decision.
Well, maybe we could make you. I'll see if one of my guys can make you a new account, and we can give you all the login stuff. And maybe if we create it from somewhere else,
that'd be nice.
Maybe
because I've tried many different names, many different,
Well, you still want ParaUfo,
and I
right?
just get banned.
Some variation of ParaUfo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll.
Paranormal UFO.
Paranormal. So that maybe we can try that for a TikTok name.
Sure.
Paranormal UFO. You haven't had that one yet.
No, I haven't had that one.
We'll see what we can figure out. I'll see if we can make one, and then because it seems like a good tool for you to get yourself out there.
And I didn't, and also my photography. I mean, my photography would blow you away.
Okay.
Also that got flagged, and NASA got on my ass about that.
NASA was for your photography?
Yes. They didn't really directly say, you know what, we don't, what's going on with your photography, but the aliens told me, and I would sense that, that it was them, because I would post a photography, that I took in that night, and it was these orbs. It was a beautiful, beautiful, I still have it on my laptop.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful picture of orbs. And NASA would kind of like copy me and post a video of the same type of picture the same day on Twitter. And I'm like, NASA, what's, what's the deal,
Yeah.
And I got on the spirit box, and I asked, the spirits, tell me who is watching me, because I felt like it was more than the government watching me. I mean, I felt like it was like 3 different governments at some point that were watching me very, very hard.
3 different governments and NASA are keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And the orb photos, and if you can too, well, we'll email after this, and maybe you can send me some of these photos and stuff so we can put them up on the site so people can see them. And maybe
finally,
what's that?
Finally, because I have so much evidence and like a lot of photography that
I don't want to get myself in trouble along with you, but I'm willing to. I'm interested enough, and I'd like to put some. If you have all this stuff, I'm willing to share it as well, and get it out there. But if NASA, I mean, I'm just a middleman, is the way I look at it. I don't see why NASA would come after me if I'm
and honestly, they're not on me so much because I've taken a break from everything. Once I got that platform taken away and banned, I stopped everything. I stopped blogging, I stopped posting, I stopped everything.
And it's been a while. It's been a little while then. So maybe you can slowly start coming back in there, and and be on social media. And so you said you predicted this war with Russia. Are you saying that the U.S. is going to go to war with Russia?
Yes, I'm saying the U.S. wants to go to war. They want beef. They want, and I don't believe what they're saying in the news about the Russians bombing schools, apartment complexes, etc. I mean, I don't buy it. Mm-hmm. It sounds rehearsed to me. It sounds like a movie set out of Hollywood. And I also, since I can talk to the spirits, I use a spirit box as a very huge tool to communicate with the aliens and get this evidence out to people. That's not coming from me. It's coming from the aliens through the spirit box to saying, you know what, this is what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's so is this going to be like a nuclear war situation? Is that what we're headed for? What do the spirits think the future's looking like here in the next 5 years? We both have little kids, so I'm sure. What's the best play? Where should people be going then? I mean, if you're not a billionaire and don't have an underground bunker, I mean, what's the next best?
They told me to go to the Mayan pyramids.
Mayan pyramids. Okay. And as far as what, like just kind of get a place near there or something, or camp? Or where do you?
Like when Russia conquers the U.S., when they come here.
And is there a date? Do you have any kind of like a ballpark when that's going to happen, just so I can plan around that?
Within 7 years.
Within 7. Okay. So we're looking at by 2030, it's gonna be serious business.
Yep.
And so then what's kind of the game plan then? You get over to the Mayan pyramids, and then what?
Then basically the Mayan pyramid will transform into a spaceship, and God will come there and he will take his people who belong with him.
Okay.
Who listen.
And is this
kind of like Revelation?
Now, is there going to be people of all different, like born again Christians? Because that's a big born again Christian thing, right? The whole getting the whole rapture. I know like Kirk Cameron made isn't that the guy? Kirk Cameron has like a movie, Aaron, about like people.
The Left Behind series.
Left Behind. Are you familiar with that stuff? It's like all the Christians get sucked up into heaven, and then everybody else is left behind to deal with.
Somewhat like that, but I don't have a religion here on earth. I don't believe in any religion that's man-made on earth. I do believe in God, and I do believe in some parts of the Bible.
Okay.
But I don't have a religion.
But
I'm not like a Christian or a Catholic or.
Yeah, I get it. Is there because there's the demons, there's the aliens, is there angels? Is that part of the equation too?
Yes, there's angels.
Okay.
Yes.
And these so is there hell?
Yes.
Is there a heaven and hell? Is there that whole thing going on? So who's the guy in charge or the being in charge? Like who's the who's God?
Who's the guy in hell?
No. Who's like God? What's the hierarchy of, you have God in heaven, I assume.
Yes.
And then there's like the demons are coming from hell. And there's like
God. Yeah.
There
is a God that is real.
Uh-huh.
He is very real. And God takes many forms, just like Satan. Satan is the God of this world. He is the God of this world. Yeah. Satan is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty apparent. Do you think are you familiar with the CERN and that big Hadron Collider thing they made?
No, I have no idea.
Because that's a lot of people think. Are you familiar with the Mandela effect?
I heard about it, but I think it's BS, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. It's just people.
Oh, that's fine.
Trying to find.
No, I just know because like they in CERN, which is this like underground. It's like an underground scientific. I don't like CERN. It's like it's just miles, and it's like it's outside of France. I forget where it is, but they built this big particle collider to find like the God particle or something. And a lot of theories revolve around this large hadron collider thing that they built, and they're like smashing these atoms together at like, you know, really high speeds, and it's creating like dark matter or something. And a lot of people think that broke open some like doorway into another dimension, and that's kind of why everything's going crazy now, is because it's like you know, we got a lot more demons coming through or something.
Yes. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
So now, isn't there a way to like, so we got like all the politicians are feeding this demon with fear or pain or misery, I guess is more what it is.
Yeah.
Now, isn't there a way to just make that? Because I've always said, you know, everybody talks about like, well, you know, in 20 years or whatever, like climate change is going to, you know, everybody's going to be under the ocean, or like, oh, there's going to be a nuclear war. And I always say, well, you know, if we just kill like 100 guys, then we can avoid all this. There's really just like probably about 100 guys that are responsible for all of the problems.
Right.
Well, why can't we just do something about that? Why can't we get like, you know, can we transport like, you know, some kind of intergalactic mercenaries, like good guys to go in and like, you know, choke out Dick Cheney or whatever? I'm not threatening Dick Cheney. He's already done his damage. I don't think he's
Dick Cheney.
Further,
nobody wants to believe or go against the government, especially because, you know, the government prays to Satan. That's a powerful guy.
Right.
And people are intimidated by Satan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go fight Satan. But yeah, right. Are you really going to go fight Satan?
Yeah. So personally, what are some of your, so you've dealt with, I mean, this is like, these are some pretty big picture things that I guess we could just talk about till we're blue in the face. Which would be nice if good does good ever really conquer evil, or is that just for the movies?
Yes. Good does conquer evil.
Okay. So getting back to your personal experience, I hope so. I mean, I'd like to believe that, yeah, love will, whatever, you know, all that bullshit everybody says about, you know, good guys winning. I don't really, in my lifetime, I haven't seen much evidence of the good guys winning in real life.
Wow.
It happens. Well, I mean, just look what's happened to the country in the past 40 years. Or the whole world, really. We really could be living in a utopia. But out of 7 or 8 billion people, there's, like 100 of them who are just hell-bent on ruining it all. And it seems like that's kind of the way it goes. And it seems like that's the way it's always been, too. So I don't
and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I hope somebody... I hope, you know, God sends somebody to change the world. We need change in the world for the world and us to survive. If we want to keep living, you know, we got to make some changes.
Need like a Superman.
And if we don't, then we'll blow up.
Yeah. So your friend, you had this ghost friend, right? Your friend who was a ghost in your house.
Yes.
And so how did all that work out? Because then you met Steve from the Valley. And he told you to about like your powers and everything. So then
and he told me that I have no choice but to take this power. If I don't, then do I feel comfortable with aliens communicating with my daughters?
Right.
And I'm like,
so did you stop, put an end to that with aliens communicating with your daughters?
I still have communication with the aliens. They help me every day. They're here with me every day.
No kidding.
You know, aliens were, well, her name is Electra. She's from Pallades, and she's my teacher. She's the one that tells me what to do, how to do things, what's the next step.
Okay. Pallades. What's that, a star? Pallades?
It's a constellation in the universe.
Okay. So that's Electra, and she's you deal with her mainly.
Yes.
For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/World Record Podcast. For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/World Record Podcast. Patreon.com/World Record Podcast.